Hey man, say man, it's your boy DAALIGHT man, Daylight TV, back at y'all with another one. And on this trip, we're gonna recap week 5 of America's first Frico conspiracy trial against Sean Diddy Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P Diddy, aka Brother Love, aka the John Gotti of Baby Oil, aka the El Chapo of Astroglide, or as I've been calling him, Baby Oil Diddy. Baby Oil Diddy. I need that beat made. uh, but first, man, hit that like and subscribe button, smash that notification bell. It's really mobbing with the content. DAALIGHT TV. Let's get it. So on Monday, June 9, 2025, in the Sean Diddy Combs trial, the day centered around the continued testimony of a woman identified as Jane, a former girlfriend and now accuser of Combs. Now, before we get into Jane's testimony, want to get into the identity of, Jane. So the identity of the witness who is testifying under the pseudonym Jane is not officially revealed to the public. However, there are some strong rumors and speculation online that Jane could be Daphne Joy, who is 50 Cent's ex-girlfriend and the mother of his son Sire, the one that he still likes. Some of the speculation is fueled by 50 Cent's own social media activity. He posted a cryptic message, including a photo of himself with his son, captioned WTF, or what the fuck, around the time that Jane testified. Jane's testimony added fuel to that fire when she stated that she dated Diddy from 2021 till his arrest in 2024, and mentioned that her child's father had issues with Diddy, which aligned with 50 Cent's well-known animosity toward, bruh. So, Daphne Joy was also listed as one of Diddy's alleged sex workers in the lawsuit filed last year, though she denied the claims. 50 Cent and Daphne dated from 2011 to 2012, and they broke up a few months after their son Sire was born in September of 2012. The relationship between 50 and Daphne ended due to a combination of factors, including a domestic violence case in 2013, a custody battle over their son, and accusations of abuse and SA made by Daphne. Daphne accused 50 Cent of SA and abuse in a social media post, which prompted 50 Cent to file a defamation of character lawsuit, which he later dropped. The relationship also became strained by a lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs, where Joy was named as a sex worker, leading to further accusations and counter accusations. So I guess this is what the whole post about when 50 said sex worker. I didn't know you was a sex worker. He was talking about Daphne. Like, that's crazy, because I never put that together. And normally, I'd be catching on, but I wasn't paying that much attention, bro. I was really late for the party to even know that Diddy and Cassie was in a relationship like that. Like, that's how out of, like, the mix I be, bro, because I didn't care about Cassie's music at all. Mediocre as hell, you know what I'm saying? But, okay, it's coming together now, you know what I'm saying? Now, look, it's important to remember that these are just rumors and online speculations at the moment, you know what I mean? The court has ordered that Jane's identity remain confidential, and there has been no official confirmation. However, the math seems to be mathing on this one. But I want y'all to keep this in mind, as we continue to unpack the key points in Jane's testimony. All right. Now, Jane testified about years of alleged coerced sex with male escorts during her relationship with Diddy, which she described as frequent hotel nights lasting up to 3.5 days sometimes. Jane revealed that she fainted when she learned of Cassie Ventura's lawsuit against Diddy in November of 2023, as she felt like she was reading her own sexual trauma in the lawsuit allegations. More like you were reading your job description and realizing that you wasn't the first one. As the days progressed, as the day progressed, Jane detailed an alleged violent altercation with Combs in June of 2024, where she described being choked, punched, kicked, and dragged by her hair, leaving her with visible injuries. Jane recounted being with Combs when his family, she recounted being with Combs and his family when the 2016 surveillance footage of him assaulting Cassie Ventura was leaked, and how they strategized about an apology post. I guess that post that he broke down, like, what he did was despicable and all this other shit. And it's funny because wherever Diddy was when he made that post looked very similar to the background of wherever Russell Simmons was hiding out when they were trying to push that line on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It just seemed like he was just around bamboo, everything. I don't know. But anyway, Jane testified about resisting participating in the hotel nights and expressing her discomfort with the alleged sexual performances. Jane also alleged that Combs threatened to show her child's father videos of her having sex, which she claimed were of her being heavily drugged and doing things that he asked. So, yeah, your child's father, the one that has a long-standing issue with Diddy. And now he's threatening to show you, because the whole idea, whatever, was to deal with you and to basically trash you out because he has an issue with your child's father. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't make 50 take that, so he gonna make you take that, and you fell for it. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I say, bro, a lot of times women will go and like they'll fall out with their significant other, and then they think that they're being slick by going and dealing with that man's enemy. But, yeah, you might be, making people look at him, or, might be like causing a couple little scratches or blemishes on his player card. But on a real, what you're going to have to go through just to try and embarrass that man, and that embarrassment is not even going to last that long, because the things that are going to happen to you while you're behind enemy lines thinking that it's friendly it's going to be way more embarrassing. Like, Jane doing all of this, if she thought she was getting even with 50, right? Doing all of this shit or whatever, if she thought it was gonna like get even or set bro straight, it's like, look at you now. Look at everything you went through. And then what's crazy is, like, you make these accusations against 50 about, abuse and SA and all this other shit, right? Which, I mean, didn't go anywhere. So possibly like false. You understand what I mean? Pretty sure. And now you end up with Diddy. Like, just imagine if those were false allegations, and then like fast forward, this is the predicament that you end up in. Calm as a bitch. But the testimony, Jane's testimony continued about the informal love contract where Diddy paid Jane a monthly allowance to cover her rent, which continued even during the trial. So damn, even while he been sitting down fighting this case, he's still been taking care of this chick and she's still going to court on him. This is crazy. Jane's testimony is considered important to the prosecution's case as it aims to establish a pattern of coercion and control by Combs within his alleged enterprise. On Tuesday, June 10th, 2025, the Diddy trial continued with the focus being on the cross-examination of the witness known as Jane, former girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. Jane testified that Combs provided her with financial support, including over $150,000 wired to her during the course of their relationship. A $20,000 investment in her clothing business, and payment for her rent and security deposit when she moved into a new home. He also bought her some new teeth or whatever because he said that he ain't like her smile. You know what I'm saying? Combs' lawyers questioned Jane extensively about her involvement in the hotel nights or freak-offs, which involved orchestrated sexual encounters with other men while Diddy allegedly watched. And, we know this, all the Punishers and, but Jane stated that she felt pressure to participate in these encounters to maintain her relationship with Combs, viewing it as the only option she was giving to spend time with him. Why don't you find somebody that's better to spend time with, that likes you for you, that doesn't, that's not into all these weird ass things, But Jane testified that she was also jealous of Combs' public relationship with rapper Young Miami from the City Girls. You know what I mean? Carisha, whatever. She also shared frustration about Diddy giving expensive gifts and taking trips to with other women while she didn't get the same treatment. But again, you weren't supposed to. You are revenge, shorty. Basically, like, Diddy couldn't get 50 to take that, so he made you do it. You don't understand what was going on? You ain't see that? Oh, you thought because he was paying $10,000 or whatever, like a month, that was like, bro, that's nothing. It's nothing. That man or whatever puts earrings on or whatever that's like probably worth 10 times more than whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? So, come on, man. Like, that's the problem or whatever and shit. Like, you think you're getting even and you're really just ending up in an odd situation. Jane attributed her willingness to participate in the hotel nights to emotional pressure. She testified that she would engage positively about the hotel nights and watch the footage afterward to ensure that Diddy didn't feel rejected. So you just sound like a chick that's trying to might force you. You were trying to keep your man. A free ride. You wanted to be a sugar baby. And that was your sugar daddy, Sugar Diddy. And Sugar Diddy just happened to have sugar in his tank. But, let's keep going. Jane described her concerns about Diddy's substance use early in their relationship, noting physical signs that she believed indicated alcohol withdrawal, and adding that she would now call him a drug addict. Shorty, you're late for the party. You're so late for the party that's why you went to the party in the first place. Because most people, bro, like, I've never been around Diddy personally, but like I said, I was exposed to people who had done business with bro. Everybody's always said that bro liked the drugs. So, And I started being around like the scene or whatever when like that ecstasy thing was going crazy. Like I remember going and busting plays at this club called the Sound Factory. That's another story. Um, the issue of potential juror misconduct was raised by the prosecution with reports suggesting they sought to remove a juror due to a lack of candor, and the defense was countering with accusations of discriminatory motives. I guess with the jury thing is a big thing. Like when they go to the selection, because each side is trying to pick the juror that might lean more so to their client's case or their case than the opposite side. So that's why it's the thing. And like they've already picked the jury and use their little points and everything like that to excuse or pass over. So this is like, this gets real tricky. You know what I mean? The judge had also denied the defense team's motion for a mistrial because they had argued that false testimony was presented regarding the incident with Brianna Bongolan, who accused Diddy of, hanging her over the 17-story balcony. And that probably because there was this whole thing about Diddy may not have even been in town or wherever like this whole balcony hanging took place. Supposedly, you may not have even been anywhere near Brianna when this happened. So on Wednesday, June 11, 2025, the Diddy trial continued with the cross-examination of Jane, and Diddy defense attorney, Tini Geragos, who I wanted to point out is the daughter of Mark Geragos. Now, Mark Geragos represented a lot of top tier people like Michael Jackson, Winona Ryder, Chris Brown, Scott Peterson, Jussie Smollett, Colin Kaepernick, the Menendez brothers, Mike Tyson, Nicole Richie, so she come from a line of things. So this is like the real legacy legal battle and everything. You got Maureen Comey on one side, with the prosecution, and she's James Comey, former FBI director's daughter. Then you got Mark Geragos' daughter over here, Teeny, representing Diddy. Like, this is very interesting, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but now I want to go and see if there's ever been an incident where Mark Geragos and James Comey cross paths. So we'll see, whatever. It might be some more video coming up next. And if it look a little dark in here, my bad. My little light died. A little light of mine, it stopped shining and shit. I don't know where I put that charger to it. But Geragos aimed to show that Jane freely participated in these events. Jane testified that while she agreed to these acts, it was often due to emotional pressure and feeling like it was the only way to see Combs. She stated that she was just adapting to her circumstances and her environment and going along with something she really didn't feel like she could say no to. Well, yeah, because you're in a love contract. Basically, you signed on to be his personal plaything. You're a sugar baby. I know, because I done smashed the nigga chicken. I done smashed the nigga's sugar baby before. You know what I mean? It's a funny story about that. I should tell it. I told it in the song, but it'll really hit different if I like slow it down. and told y'all in the video. I know some people who probably don't want me to tell it because I'm gonna say the name the same way I say the names in the goddamn song. In the words of Bernie Mac.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
But yeah, so Jane grew emotional on the stand, particularly when discussing her love for Diddy and reading affectionate text messages that she had sent him. She also expressed resentment towards him as well. She confirmed that Diddy provided her with financial support, including paying her rent for her home and investing in her business. She stated that she believed he used these payments as a control tactic. Shorty, you chose to swap yourself out. Like, you knew where this was gonna go. Like, you thought he was gonna love you? You thought he was gonna love you? Because by this time, a lot of what happened with him and Cassie is already out there. You got with bro in 2021. Like, yeah, she sued in 2023, but like everybody knew this about bro. Like by this time, because even by this time, bro, I figured out that, oh shit, Cassie and Diddy is dating like that. You know what I mean? Like, after she ain't had no more albums, I figured, it was over. On Thursday, June 12th, 2025, during the Diddy trial, Diddy defense team concluded their cross-examination of the witness testifying under the pseudonym Jane, a former girlfriend of Sean Diddy Combs, who was with him from 2021 up until his arrest in 2024. Jane, who had been testifying for several days, completed her cross-examination and redirect questioning. The defense attorney questioned Jane about a physical fight she had with Diddy in June of 2024, where she admitted to pushing him and throwing objects at him, and alleged that he had kicked and choked her. The cross-examination touched on Jane's participation in the hotel nights of Frico, which involved sex with other individuals, and her feelings of pressure and resentment. While the defense suggests she seemed willing, Jane maintained that she felt pressured to participate in the hotel nights and was essentially putting on a show that you were paid to put on. Love contract girl. Jane testified that Diddy had threatened to stop paying her rent if she didn't participate in the hotel nights, which she said added to her feeling of obligation. Yeah, because you're a bum and you got no backbone and you got no hustle and, no morale, no virtue. Because most people, most healthy-minded, respectable women would have said, shit, I don't work there. Like I'm gonna go back to work retail. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna go and try to get my job back at Saks Fifth or wherever it is that, she probably met that high profile nigga. Cause a lot of these chicks be working in places or whatever that get frequented by these like celebrities. And if y'all remember like that T.I. video, you can have whatever you like and all that, and he said,
too cute to be working here.
That type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like some chick would have just went back, man. Or by this time, you done been through enough party with a nigga where it's like other dudes in the industry that slip you their number or whatever and shit. Try for something else. You know what I'm saying? There was a lengthy delay in court proceeding due to a private meeting between the judge, the defense, and the prosecution and Jane's lawyer. So I think this is surrounding the incident where Jane was being asked about attending another rapper's Frico, because allegedly she took a trip to Vegas with some other rapper and his wife and participated in a freak off with them. Now, I guess the defense wanted her to disclose the rapper's name, and wanted her to disclose the rapper's name, and the prosecution objected, saying that the name wasn't necessary. And, you know, probably because whoever it is going to sensationalize this shit even more. Like, we've already seen enough happen with the Sarah Snedeker thing, you know, because that was Mia. And now it's like Joy is probably being outed as being, well, Jane is being outed as being Daphne Joy, 50 baby mama. So, you know, I could see where this is going. Combs lawyer Mark Agafilo expressed concerns about the increasing secrecy surrounding the trial, particularly regarding the non-disclosure of certain details. And that's what I was just explaining to y'all. After her testimony concluded, Jane made an unusual move by hugging both the prosecutor and the defense attorney in front of the jury. Yeah, fucking weirdo. No wonder like this shit with her and 50. I'm the damn 50 just slipped up or whatever and dropped the baby in that bitch. While fighting the Frico, Diddy's civil legal trouble continued to pile up. Chelsea Lovelace, who had previously filed a lawsuit against Diddy anonymously, amended her suit to reveal her name on Thursday, June 11, 2025. Chelsea Lovelace did not testify at the Sean Diddy Combs trial, but her account, as detailed in her lawsuit, parallels some of the testimony of the other witnesses, like Jane, Cassie, and Mia, who did testify at trial. Lovelace's lawsuit alleges that Combs used drugs and money to compel her into engaging in sex acts without her consent. So he paid you to participate in sex without you knowing. How do you sell your pussy without being aware that you sold it? And if you just said you got drugged, that's one thing, you know, because we all heard the Bill Cosby stories. But if you got paid for sex acts that you didn't consent to, it's like saying, it almost sounds like he asked, you said no, he offered you the money, you said yes, even though you said no the first time. So basically, like, you didn't want to sleep with him per se, but you wanted the money, so you sleep with him. I don't know, bro. Sounds like it's all prostitution to me. And not prostitution in the sense of like sex trafficking, how they're saying like Diddy is a sex trafficker. Diddy is a trick. Diddy is the type of guy that will walk up to a girl and say, damn, baby, you fine. I want to sleep with you, but I'm kind of a corny nigga and I got a Tootsie Roll for a fucking eggplant. So, since you're not going to enjoy this, what I can do is compensate you for your time. Oh, but yeah, man. So, on Friday, June 13th, Friday the 13th, the Sean Diddy Combs trial saw several notable developments. You know, U.S. District Judge Arun Subramanian, who is presiding over the Diddy trial, announced his intention to dismiss one of the 12 jurors. The juror referred to as juror number 6 was to be removed due to several inconsistencies regarding his residency. So it's a guy. The judge cited concerns about deception and lying and questioned the juror's ability to follow instructions. Combs' defense lawyers voiced concerns about the juror's dismissal, and the matter was further discussed by the court. Andre Lamone, a special agent with Homeland Security, testified at the Diddy trial and detailed items found during the raid on Diddy's Los Angeles mansion in March of 2024. Among the items seized during the raid were 900 bottles of Astroglide lubricant, 200 bottles of baby oil. Yo, so the whole time we're saying, like, at least 1,000 bottles of baby oil or whatever, the total number is 1,100. And now we understand, like, at one point we thought because there was multiple raids on the Miami house, the LA house, I believe something in New York got hit, not sure. But the whole thing is we're thinking collectively. This was just the one crib, bro, in LA. So he had stash spots. Like, he really was the El Chapo of Astroglide. Like, I told y'all, I ain't lying to y'all. Like, I be joking, but I be serious. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. 6 firearms, including 2 Smith & Wesson M&P rifles, a Mossberg pump-action shotgun, a Ruger semi-automatic rifle, and Glock pistols, one of which had a scratched-off serial number. A high-capacity drum magazine with 59 rounds of green-tip ammunition was found, which is designed to penetrate body armor. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm surprised that it wasn't 69 rounds or whatever dealing with this freaky nigga. But anyway, 6 manila envelopes with the letter K on them were found that tested positive for ketamine. A plastic bag was also discovered that tested positive for MDMA or ecstasy. So, yeah, this is crazy. During cross-examination, the defense questioned the agent about the large quantities of lubricant seized, and Lamone confirmed that it was the only human smuggling and trafficking investigation he had been a part of where he encountered that much lube and baby oil. The defense also emphasized that all the seized firearms were found in a security room. So yeah, I think with the lube and all of this stuff or whatever, like, they're asking him, has he ever encountered this much in a sex trafficking investigation? And I guess it proves to the point is, like, is Diddy really this RICO, sex trafficker, or is he just a freaky nigga with money to kind of support his habits and all that, right? Now, again, like I said, solicitation, patronizing a prostitute is illegal. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're in Vegas, then it's not. I don't know what other states or whatever legalize have legal prostitution because I don't buy pussy. But also the emphasis being put on the handgun or the weapon being found in the security room kind of removed it from, like, Diddy being in possession of them or whatever, or that there's some criminal aspect to that. The next witness was Jonathan Perez, a former personal assistant to Combs, who testified as a witness for the prosecution. Perez's testimony addressed allegations of setting up hotel rooms and procuring drugs for Diddy. Perez described his role of setting up king nights, also known as freak-offs or hotel nights. So damn, this nigga just had all kind of, like, little code names. So we got freak-offs, hotel nights, now king nights. And it's crazy because you name your son King Combs. Like, is he gonna grow up to start doing king nights? Y'all better be careful and not go to none of that little nigga parties. He danced just like his daddy too. Yeah, so his role or whatever involved preparing the hotel rooms with various items including food, liquor, music, red lights, condoms, lubricants, and sometimes honey. Damn. So this nigga got on some Winnie the Pooh type shit. He testified that this was part of his job assigned by Combs Chief of Staff Christina Corman. Yeah, the one that they call Coleman, the one they call KK. Perez testified about obtaining drugs for Diddy a handful of times, including Xanax, cocaine, and Molly, which he would pay for with cash provided by Combs security personnel or from a Gucci pouch, which typically contained both drugs and cash, and that Diddy always had this Gucci pouch with him during King Night. So, with the King Night thing, I start thinking about the video with Diddy in the towel with Cassie. And I'm just thinking about bro walking around the hotel with a towel and a Gucci pouch on. Just popping a pill, handing somebody some money to freak off. You know what I'm saying? Like, because remember, the Punisher said while he was messing with Cassie and all that, like doing the little like orchestrated moves, Diddy was putting like the money right down on the bed, and then at one point he thought it was gonna be like additional pay, like he was gonna make some more bread. But nope, it was just for aesthetics, just for optics. Perez testified that Diddy instructed him not to discuss King Nights or drug usage with anyone. However, he also said that neither Diddy nor his close associates ever told him to not tell the truth. Tell the truth to who? About what? Like, Perez accounted finding a video of Jane, who just finished testifying, who may possibly be Daphne Joy, having sex with another man on a staff iPad. Yo, this is crazy. With Combs in the background. He brought the issue to Combs and Corman, who later discussed it with him, suggesting outside persons may have been involved in bringing it up. I don't even know what that means. I would have, yo. Perez stated that he still feels great about Diddy, despite the circumstances of his departure, which he attributed to a desire to avoid legal entanglement. He testified that he was testifying under subpoena and an immunity order, which prevents him from being charged for actions such as purchasing illicit drugs carried out for Combs. So Perez testified about dropping off items at Jane's house and then to Diddy himself the night of the alleged physical altercation in June of 2024, and later receiving a FaceTime call from Diddy during the argument. He also shared a text message where he referred to needing cash for Diddy's guest, referring to Jane, I guess. Under cross-examination, the defense sought to highlight that Perez's involvement in these personal matters was minimal compared to his business duties, and that the King Nights only represented about 1% of his responsibilities. Perez also confirmed that Jane seemed like a willing participant in the King Nights and didn't appear hesitant or unhappy after them. The defense also questioned whether he was paid for these personal tasks, to which he initially agreed, but later clarified that he didn't believe he was specifically paid for those actions. Yo, I also wanted to tell y'all it was supposedly a text message or a phone call between Jonathan Perez and KK, Diddy's chief of staff, about, I guess, while he was cleaning up the hotel. And I guess she was asking him, like, for a progress report, like, how was the cleaning going? Bruh said he slipped and fell like twice. We already know what you fell on, my nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Like, now, that was pretty much the end of the testimony for the day and the end of week 5. So now the trial is in its 6th week, and the prosecution indicated that they expect to conclude their case next week, and that would be followed up by the defense's presentation. So yeah, we are 5 weeks into testimony, 6 weeks total into the trial. And so far, all we've heard is the prosecution case. Going forward, if the prosecution wraps up next week, then we're going to probably sit through another 4 to 6 weeks of the defense presenting their case that, Diddy is not a diddler. That's going to be definitely interesting, to see who shows up, who Diddy's friends still are, and how many friends he still has. One friend Diddy definitely knows he still has is Kanye West, also known as Ye, who made a brief surprise appearance at the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial in New York City on Friday, June 13th, 2025. Yeah. This nigga really showed up on Friday the 13th, dressed like he was ready for the next white party. And it's crazy because it's like, it's 3 days before Ye's birthday. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, June 16th and all that. So I thought that was crazy. Just some, I don't even know if I call that some Gemini shit. Like, I'm kind of kicking Ye out of the Gemini whip after that whole Cousins record. But Ye arrived at the Manhattan courthouse to express his support for Diddy. He was accompanied by Combs' son, Christian King Combs. Despite his intention to attend the trial, Ye was not allowed into the main courtroom due to capacity limitations. He was directed to an overflow room where he could watch the proceedings on a video monitor. And I saw a report on or by TMZ that said it was a private overflow room to prevent a circus, I guess, because, if you are media and you have a choice to either take notes watching a trial on monitor or getting a quote from Ye, you're probably going to try to get that quote. You understand what I'm saying? Ye remained in the courtroom, in the overflow room for a short period, reportedly between 10 to 40 minutes. I guess it wasn't enough attention, for him to stay in there the whole day of testimony. When asked by reporters as he was leaving if he was there to support Combs, he confirmed that his presence was for support. He did not comment on whether he would be testifying at the trial when the defense would have the opportunity to present their case, which I'm pretty sure they'll call character witnesses and other people who were at these parties. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, after the brief walkthrough, in the overflow room and little words with the media, Ye got up out of there. You know what I mean? But that's this week's recap of the key events from the Diddy trial, man, week 5. Jump in them comments. Let me know what y'all think about all of this. And if you're still here, I appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that notification bell if you're really mobbing with the content. And as always, stay dangerous so you can be safe, especially if a nigga like Diddy is standing behind you. It's your boy Daylight TV. I'm out.